Welcome to JobSkillShare.com. And part 2, basically part 1 was about devices inventory on a free software that I was using, PDQ inventory. And now we're going to use Spiceworks software to do inventory and do the same stuff, but it's a different software. Maybe it has a little bit more features, and we'll find out right now what you can do with this and kind of relate the real world examples. What kind of what kind of tickets, or what kind of requests will you get to use this feature? So the first thing you do is go to google.com, and if you're joining in and you're watching this video for the first time, please watch part 1 that will explain this video. And okay, so what you do is you type Spiceworks and go to Spiceworks and download Spiceworks. And we're gonna basically do a lot of videos on Spiceworks, kind of like it's not only just inventory software, it got a lot of other stuff too. So but since this video is just about inventory and reports, the section, basically we're going to do that. Download here, you click on save and then save it somewhere. Download, and now it's downloading. I like Spiceworks because it's also the same thing. It doesn't have client. You don't need a client on a machine to do inventory. You do need admin rights. You do have to be an admin, have domain admin rights to run this application on your work environment. Make sure you ask your manager kind of approve this software when you run this. It does scan computers, so anything like that, you might want to run it from someone that has or supervisor, just to clear it up. I mean, I think nobody should have any problems with this software. Like it's been used by a million of so many IT people, even the other one too, the one that I just used. So I don't think people should have any problems with that. Again, these are learning videos for learners, IT people who are entry level, or the people who just wants to learn about IT. What kind of work do we do? This is what we do basically at work. These are not just a video to show things that, a software or kind of advertised softwares or anything like that. It's just used for learning purposes. So there might be a lot of talking while these are uploading. So yeah, a lot of people come on YouTube and kind of comment, and why do you talk a lot? Why can't you just show things? The thing about my videos are it's a course related video, so I do have to talk and kind of explain things before I do anything. I can just go click 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 and finish everything, but that's not the purpose of my videos. Alright, so you click on run. Minimize this. Click run here, and the package is loading. So by default it's port 80. If you get an error, you might be using port 80 for something else, so you might want to change it to something else, like 8080 also works. So click next, accept the agreement, click next. Also install Nmap. It is also, these two softwares are for advanced scanning on your machine, so I would kind of leave that checked. To get more accurate results, you want to use the Nmap, and that's something that we were going to do if you're doing any security courses or stuff like that. That's, I think Professor Messer also teach about Nmap stuff, so maybe that's a good videos to watch. Alright, so you have installed desktop shortcut. You do that, click continue. Oh, you see the shortcut just came in here, and it's starting Spiceworks. So right now Spiceworks is doing its first setup. It just looks for things. This is the first steps. You will see something like that. It will ask you for some kind of registration. You do that too, and then we will start our stuff to inventory and finding out about the other computers and see what it can do. So you will see this, and we're gonna make an account. Alright, so once you do this, just click depending on what options you guys like. Password did not confirmation. Okay, put password right here, and then you click create account, and now discover and monitor my devices and discover my devices. So go ahead, do that. This is what we were looking for, and now this is going to run some scanning. Okay, we went ahead and stopped supporting blah blah blah. So if you could just go ahead and upgrade IE or install Chrome, that would be great. Alright, I need to install that, then let's do that. Get Chrome. If you see this message, then you might need to upgrade your browser, because that's how it works. So I'm installing Chrome right now just to get that Spiceworks working. So my Chrome is installed. I'm gonna go ahead and open Spiceworks in Chrome. Let's see what's the default on this one right now. Making sure. So that's still IE. Let me go back here, close this, and see if Chrome is there. I think it's still getting downloaded right now. So I found Chrome right here. I'm just gonna create a shortcut on my desktop, and now I'm gonna start running Spiceworks from Chrome, because that was a requirement. And I'm going to see, and if you don't know your link, if you forgot the address, you can just do this by your computer name and then port 80. That's be Win 2008 R2 Win, or you can just type localhost, and then just do 80, and you see it will take you to the login page of Spiceworks, and this should be your email address that you just created that account, and then your username and password. Once you do that, you're in the system. So you don't see anything right here, because you don't have anything in there right now. And the best way to do this is to basically start inventory and start Spiceworks getting set up. The first thing you need to do is basically you need to make sure you have right usernames, right domain username in there, so that can, when it starts scanning, you don't get any errors in there, and it will get all information then. So the first thing you need to do is to set up your system. Go to settings, and here you have to add a right username and password for this system to scan with. So network scan, you click on that. Now here you see this IP address and all that. It you can pick that up, and it will tell you, basically it will start scanning automatically anything under this section. but you can also add your own range in there. So for example, if your system administrator set up IP address 172.18.15 for printers, then you need to just put 172.18.15.1 to 254. So all the printers in that IP address range will be scanned. Or if you have all the system under one IP address, then you can just click that and then start scanning it. But before scanning it, you need to make sure you have a right username and password set up in there for scanning. Alright, so this is a new one that I'm looking at right now. The one that I use is the old version. So, and they made it pretty cool right now. See that you can put accounts in here. You can add what needs to be scanned basically. So for example, if you have something that runs online site, like you have an admin site that runs on like IP address, you type that and then you just put your username and password here and then do that. If you have virtual machines or any some stuff like that, you can also scan that. Anything that is on your system, this can scan it. This is why this is more advanced, because it can scan many other things. So what you need to do is basically you need to add an account right here. Alright, so what you do is you click on add account here. Oh, not here, sorry. So here. So your domain, you gotta put your domain in there and then slash username, and also you gotta put your password in there and the description. So put your domain in there, and that would be, and then you do your username that you know that has admin rights, and then your password, and then say admin. You start saving that account. So now that account is saved, you can basically scan anything on this account. Click that IP address and say start scanning. So it'll start scanning right now, trying to look for things. Spiceworks has changed right now before I use it, so I gotta make a new video on whole Spiceworks, how to work it out, inventory, help desk, and all that stuff. Pretty useful thing. I use it every day for my daily job, and there's so many different calls you can get solved with just having Spiceworks on your system. So far it's scanned 29, and then it's looking for login errors. So these are just like, if you have a system that if you didn't put like a right credentials and then for a system, so this you're gonna get this error right now, which I know for sure I'm gonna get it because I just want to scan this machine, Windows 7, that I know will only work because other systems are not configured on this server. So in your environment you're not gonna see that many login errors. If you do, then you might have put the wrong credentials in there. So let's see, once this is finished, we'll only look into this one and kind of see what options does it give us. So you see, if it's working, then it just goes to like right here, this option. You'll see, and the one with login errors are on the bottom. Like I said, you're not gonna see that many login errors. This is because these two systems are on different my system is set up the different way using a Microsoft system, so there's you only see two which is one was my computer that I'm using right now, domain 2008 computer, and one is that client machine, which is Windows 7, this one right here. We're trying to make an inventory of this machine using Spiceworks. So we'll go back to 2008, and then you go back to inventory and see if we have any information. So when you click on that, okay, so you click on that and you'll see something right here that it added some computers in here, and this is what the machine that we were looking for. So what you do is basically you click on that machine and let's see what kind of information it's so far gathered. And it tells you right now, so listen, we really got to talk about your scan errors. Only 6% of your devices has been successfully. That is something we know, so we're not worried about it too much. But this is where you basically see the inventory of that machine. You can click on applications, and that's going to start telling you what applications you can see on that machine, and you see Windows 7, and from here you can see everything. Storage on that machine, you can see what kind of storage I have, how much is remaining right now. If it goes to 2%, you can make reports that will make you like alert or something like that. And this is still building right now, so you're gonna see a little bit more information related to this machine. And like I said, when I use Spiceworks, I use it a lot because sometimes I get a call that I need to find an IP address of a machine. Let's say if I know this is machine Windows 7, I'll just type Windows 7 here, and it gives me the IP address of that machine too. Like if I want to find out about this machine, I click on it, and then I come back here, and then see, I can see everything right here. And still, since it's still building right now, we're gonna wait till it gets all the information so we can see the IP. So now see, I clicked on it and it's giving me more information on the top right now. IP address is right here. It's telling me how much memory it has, what kind of system it is, Intel, and every single thing that it can basically get. It also have tools to basically do troubleshooting on this machine. So if I want to ping this machine, I can click here, do ping. I can do I still do the same thing that the one we do with the PDQ inventory. I can wake this machine up. I can see what kind of processes are running on this machine. I can manage services on this machine. I can manage software. And let's see. So if we click on running processes, it should give me all the processes running on the machine right now, and I can kill it too. So if I if I click on it here, sorry, it has an X right here. I'm thinking about different stuff. Alright, so it has so if I click on this right now, it will end that process on that machine. So sometimes this kind of stuff is very useful. For example, I can give you an example of somebody clicked on Outlook 6 times in one day in my company, and they call me that Outlook is not turning on. I know that I clicked on Outlook, but it's not coming up. Now if you can go to their desk and kind of find out what's going on. The way you would do it is you will go to their you'll go, for example, let's just open it, like, you know, let's give it an example that let's see, what can we open right here? Accessories, Notepad. So Notepad is Outlook, just in case, just you know, I know it's not, but so Notepad is Outlook. She clicked on it 6 times. They don't see the Outlook coming up. That means it's on, but somehow there's an error, like, you know, it got hung, and then just like she keeps clicking on it again and again, and that's not gonna work. But still the process is running, so you need to kill that process, or you tell them to restart your computer, which is gonna take more time, but you can fix it this way. So now I know that I have Outlook open. I can go back to my machine. I was like, okay, your Outlook is not coming up. Let me just do a process, run a process on it, and see if I can do something from here. So if I go to this machine and run processes, I should see Notepad process. So let's find that out. So see Notepad right here, and let's say that machine has Notepad right now, is on right now. I'll go back here, and then I kill this process. I'm going to kill it in process, and that should go away from that machine. So go back here, I don't see Notepad anymore. So I told the user to go ahead and open your Outlook again. Now all the instances, basically if there was 6 instances of that Outlook, because of that it was not coming up. Now if they open an Outlook again, it should be fine. You know, this is how I solved that issue without restarting it. So see why it can be useful when you deal with processes and services. Other useful tool that it has is that if you go to tools and you click on services, manage services, and this kind of stuff, it's very a lot of administrators use this when we have servers and we're running like local internets or any sites that let's say a service is hung or a service is not responding. You do a lot of like restarting services and stopping services, and that you can do from here too. You can click start, you can click stop. I can click stop on the service, it will stop the service, and then I can click run start again, and that kind of fix some little bit site issues that are having site is slow, or you need to restart the site and stuff like that. It's also useful. So you can see the use of it. It's pretty useful. It's free. why not use it? It's like you can do a lot of other things from it. You can also manage software on this. So if you click on manage software, you can basically uninstall software from this machine right now, and that is something awesome because you might need to uninstall some kind of software like a toolbars, like that comes with softwares, and somebody installed it like by mistake, and that toolbars is basically kind of like annoying. Some people might ask you to uninstall it. You don't want to go there, but you want to run that toolbar, uninstall it. You can do that from here. See how powerful this software is. You can do that stuff. Click on uninstall, and that will uninstall the software from that machine. So okay, so what other thing you can do is basically you can click on inventory, and the other thing is we talked about reports. So you can go to click reports, and these are default reports from Spiceworks, but you can go ahead and download more. So if I say I need to run a report, let's do something very easy because we just installed this, so it's not gonna have too many things. Disk usage, okay, so let's just click on that and click run. So it tells you Windows 7 disk usage is 72%, free disk is this. This is why it's very useful for reporting, because you can do that kind of stuff on this machine. And if you go back here, you want to test another report. Computer with antivirus, okay, you can click on that, and it tells you antivirus up to date. No. See, that's how useful it is if you want to find out how many computer doesn't have antivirus installed. So it's going to basically give you a nice quick way to do that. So if you go to dashboard here, it also has plugins that will basically kind of like help you out with things. So if I click on this right here, it tells me charts, what's going on, see how many operating systems in my system. So in my where I work, I have Spiceworks set up for me. I have 300 Windows here, I have 20 XP, I have Windows 7, and it kind of automatically does everything for you, makes your job very easy, and you got a lot of control over it then. So that was basically it for Spiceworks. We are gonna do a very detailed video on Spiceworks actually, and okay, so we're gonna do a very detailed Spiceworks video. Once we do that, after that, you guys are gonna learn a lot about Spiceworks. But this was just to do inventory and stuff like that. So nothing more. Like in this system, in this section, you just basically try to learn about inventory systems, finding out about softwares, dealing with like reports. So for example, the users call and they want to find out specifically how many softwares do we have. Usually accounting department deals with this stuff, like they will basically help us, or IT department, that we need to know how many softwares are licensed software in our system, and we need to know how much payments we do, how much money did we basically spend on these softwares, and that kind of stuff. So you might get a call that let's run a report and find out what do we have in our system. So this is why we use inventory. It's very useful. It makes your job very easy, because these are the things that if you know, you will basically do a lot of calls like that pretty easily. But if you don't know how to do it, then you'll have to do it hard way. You gotta go through computers using like a portable software, kind of run reports on it, and then saving it on Word, emails, and stuff like that. Makes your job very hard, and that's where you basically not like it then. Alright, so this is it. This is part 2. We're done with inventory. Sorry about the noises again. Next video I'll make sure we don't have anyone around, so we have a nice quiet and focused videos. Alright, thank you so much for watching JobSkillshare.com. See you in the next video. Bye bye.